Greetings, mortals. I am Natus, the ruler of the underworld. The Underweek is here, so it's time to talk about some manga chapters. And we'll start this off with peak this right off the bat with 100 girlfriends that really love you. Chapter 193 titled Meme Knitting and Tama the Kitty, Mimi and Kurumi's Back Alley Expedition. At this point, 100 Girlfriends are gonna win the record for the longest title in existence if we continue with in this space. So yeah, no, this seems to be like a new sort of thing that Nakamura is doing, where she is having she's having going to be writing days with certain girls and having them have multiple adventures with someone else. Again, I'm guessing this is like taking like some ideas that came to their head, but they couldn't really work for full chapters, so it's best to just have them like have in one chapter where we have a bunch of random ideas with and random interactions with certain girls happening at the same chapter. Since like these two are like half a chapter each, and I wouldn't be surprised if there's like another. Like maybe Iko Uta or someone has like a chapter with one girlfriend that only those two would be required, but it wouldn't be long enough for a single chapter. But whatever, it is a really good idea, and I do feel like this might help us flesh out some of the girlfriends that people have been screaming that they need more focus on for a while now. But yes, anyways, we start this chapter off with Meme knitting on her own. I'm guessing Suzuka is with Metsu writing a book or something. As Meme is knitting, and then while she's knitting, she has like the bowl of yarn next to her, and that bowl of yarn gets Tama's attention. So Tama starts playing with the bowl, and Mimi notices that, but she just finds it cute, so she just leaves it be. But unfortunately, well, one, this is a manga, and Tama has a very developed body, and she's playing with a ball of string, so well, it's being used to knit. So as you might imagine, Tama gets tied up in the string, which then Meme helps her free Tama from her little rope situation, as Tama is thankful and apologizes about, disturbing her knitting, which then Meme just says it's fine and unties a ball of yarn or whatever, or maybe takes out a different one because seems to have like two balls of yarn. I doubt, but whatever. Has she gives one ball of yarn to Tama to play with, while the other one she'll be using to knit, which then works a little while with Tama playing with it, but after some time of bouncing the ball back and forth, she looks at at Mimi again, as the ball is kind of moving on its own while Mimi is knitting, and then that moves her shoulders, and then Tama starts focusing on Mimi's boobs that are as she's knitting are kind of bouncing up and down, which causes Tama's feline instincts to take over and makes her jump on Mimi's breasts to start fondling it like a cat as she is, but that unfortunately scares Mimi, and Mimi poops away with Tama feeling very dejected and being like Tama is a stupid cat for scaring Meme away because of her being unable to control her instinct. But not why Mime is nearby. It's like, well, it's kind of a similar thing as with her parents, where her parents, I think it was in volume 6 or something, where we had like a flashback to Mime's birth, and it was revealed that when her parents were like so happy, oh, Mime, you're so cute, they scared her away, and they were looking for her everywhere, but they couldn't find her. And it's even occurring to modern day, where they asked about if she has a boyfriend, which that scared her away, and they were rampaging around the house looking for her, while in reality she was probably just in the next room. So it's kind of a similar thing here, where Tom must scare Mimi away, but Mimi is just like a few out of sight, really. So yeah. Anyways, Mimi continues knitting, goes back to knitting as Tama is covering herself and being very apologetic about jumping on Meme. As Meme is fine, she is revealed that she was actually making a toy. I feel like she probably just. I don't think she was making a toy during the day. I think it was just something that she decided to do after being jumped on by Tama. As she reveals the toy, that's a little mouse, says that Tama, it's probably movement that causes you to pay more attention to my ball of yarn and my, you know. So it'll probably be for the best if I just tie this string with this rat toy to my arm as I'm knitting, so that movement from the rat is going to cause your focus on that instead of everything else. And Tama is very happy about that, but then wonders why is Meme doing so much for a stupid cat, which Meme tells Tama that she's not a stupid cat, it's just your instincts that are taking over, because you're a cat. So Meme comforts her, and Tama is like very thankful about that, as then she sniffs the toy that Mimi made, and Mimi's a bit embarrassed. Oh my god, is there something wrong with the toy or something? And Tama's like, oh no. Tama just realized why she's jumping, and she realized that, and Tama tells her, she hugs Mimi, being like, it's Mimi's scent that makes Tama very happy. So, yeah, to Tama, Mimi smells probably the best of all the girlfriends. So, plus to Mimi, so whether she didn't poof because of her best, that kind of sounds, but whatever. So, yeah. Anyways, then we got to the next day, the next couple of days. I'm honestly convinced that these chapters can take place anytime as long as all the girlfriends as long as all the girlfriends that should join uh, should join on the point are well there. So this one could be an A point. But anyways, it's a chapter where we have Kurumi tells us that she's held this vending machine with kind of shortcake flavor ice cream, and she wants to taste it, but she doesn't know where it is. She just heard a rumor about it, and now she's looking for it, but she was very unfortunately unable to find it. But luckily for Kurumi, Meme chimes in and says, oh, she actually goes to that area or that street that this machine is, because that's like where her hands in crafts or knitting or whatever that store that that's for knitting and stuff is there. So she should be, and she does say that she saw it or at least came across it a couple of times. So she should be able to help Kurumi get there, or at the very least, she would give her a good basis, which Kurumi is very happy and tells her, oh yeah, just a vague idea is good enough, because again, like, at least where you're going. Logistically speaking, we're talking about, like, if Mime is even regularly coming across it, she probably, you just have to go into every area that Mime usually walks down, and you would eventually be able to find it. But yeah, anyways, this well, basically date, let's be honest, ourselves with Kurumi made Meme very nervous, because this is the first time that Meme is gonna be like an actual senpai to her kohai, which is something that's kind of, I mean, all the girlfriends have moments where they are like senpais to kohais, but it's never like direct, so this time she's like very nervous about her little date. So nervous, in fact, that when the day they are scheduled to meet, Meme is actually it was actually there so early that it was still raining. Uh, like Kurumi, I mean, it's not directly sad, but the way comes off is that they agreed to meet at one point of the day. They knew there was gonna be a rain at that hour, so they chose a bit of a later hour. I'm guessing it was supposed to early morning was probably when it was supposed to rain, and then during like the dinner period, that's after dinner period. That's where the two were supposed to meet. But Meme got there before dinner, before even the rain stopped, because Kurumi says like, "What that you? Yes, it has been. Oh, yes, the rain has been over for hours." Which then causes Kurumi to be very nervous and very worried about Meme, because not only has she stated that she's been standing here on the rain for what can basically be assumed to be uh, about a handful of hours, if not more so. But Mimi is also like kind of shaking, it's kind of like one of those things where it's you're clearly tired type of thing. But Meme is not deterred, and she's like, "All right, let's no, everything's fine. Let's just go get to the ice cream machine. Let's see. I believe if we go through that path, and if we go through this street corner and walk there, as then we get to a little bit of a running gag about like Meme and Kurumi getting in the wrong areas." And the funny part is that the Kurumi Meme is so out of it that the first corner she takes into the first machine literally has to hit her hat on a pole. So she's very out of it and is now just kind of going to whichever machine she remembers. Although, quite frankly, I feel like some of these machines that she runs across are just so ridiculous. I don't even know that they had to be recently have been put on because like you have like a Mimi machine, as then you have like a mace machine, like the actual weapon mace is from medieval period, and but a couple two others that are just more generic, but it's like the third one is like why? As then Meme gets a very nervous and very oh no I'm failing as a senpai, I'm a disaster. And then she tells, then tells Kurumi to, wait, Kurumi, you just wait here. I'll go run around to see which one it is. I know multiple of them, so obviously I'm just gonna confuse it. With Kurumi then trying to stop her to calm her down, but unfortunately for Kurumi, and unfortunately depending on how much she likes breasts, Meme is umbrella that she had with her gets hooked on the pack that on the back that Kumi was carrying, which then when they are moving causes Kurumi to fall. Meme pulls Kurumi on her, which causes Kurumi to fall face first on Meme's chest, as Kurumi can see Kurumi's ass there, as they front out each other with Meme then getting super embarrassed and using her poof technique, but she's so out of it that she can't even poof correctly because she, instead of going in a invisible, basically in teleportation ability, she goes visibly into a pole again, and Kumi manages how out of it Meme is that she's even unable to do her teleportation thing. And yeah, and after this little fan service shot, we then have Meme apologizing to Kurumi for being a failure of a senpai because she can't find this machine to her. And all, but Kurumi then also apologizes because she didn't think that this kind of situation would bother Meme that much. She wouldn't know that asking for directions would cause her to have such a, I guess, such a big concern about her role as a senpai situation. Like she felt like Kumi's okay. We kind of get like a little flashback where we see Meme blocking a poster with banana on it from Kumi's side, so she'll get not get hungry for bananas. Although to be fair, I feel like bananas are a pretty normal thing to be hungry for, but whatever. She wants to cover it. She covers it, and Kumi tells her that she always thinks Meme is very reliable senpai, especially considering the other senpais that we have on board. Look at previous chapter if you want 4 examples. And then you also have to remember Hahari, so yeah. I mean, among senpais, Meme is pretty competent, all things considered. But yes, Kumi does apologize about that, but she tells her that she does rely on Meme, but it's nothing. You don't have to be so focused. I trust that she'll be able to accomplish everything. So yeah, as that makes Meme a bit happy to hear that she doesn't that Kumi doesn't have a lower opinion when he kind of or any kind of disappointment in her. But then she looks at her, Meme looks at her umbrella, and she remembers when one time where she saw it. As then we have the two going to the ice cream machine holding hands. Of course, don't date. As we have Meme telling us that she remembers seeing this machine when she was leaving that hands and crafts store that she visited, but it was during the rainy day, and she didn't have an umbrella with her, so she was looking for a place to get out of the rain, and that machine was next to like a little. I'm not sure why it is, but there's like a little area where you can kind of hide from the rain. It's kind of like a little hole in there or something. I'm not entirely certain. As maybe it's like a bus, maybe it's a bus stop or something. But guys, they come to that area. She remembers that area, so they go there and they find the ice cream machine. As they are very happy they found that. As they both take their ice cream, as they start eating it. As Kurumi looks at Meme, and she's like, "Thank you, Meme Senpai," with a very cute expression, which causes Meme's instincts to take over, which causes her to hug Kurumi for being so cute, in similar way to how Nano has instincts to hug Suzuko because she's so cute. But unfortunately for uh, Meme, Kurumi, while doesn't object to this, she is kind of, Meme Senpai, I don't mind a hug from you, but why are you hugging me out of the blue? Which of course embarrasses Meme and just teleports away, saying, "Forget about this, Meme! Forget about this, Kurumi!" As Meme drops her ice cream, which Kurumi prioritizes and grabs the ice cream and starts eating it as Meme hits her head on the pole again. So, yeah, peak chapter as we have all expected from this chapter, and it was very, and it's a very fun chapter, and I cannot wait to see more chapters from this form of chapters. which is which is like the fifth or sixth story type that we have in 100 Girlfriends at this point, because I feel like multiple chapters can be basically explained with the same storyline. But yeah, anyways, after Peakness, we then have Four Knights of the Apocalypse, chapter 167, titled Percival versus Gareth. Now it's not a bedroom type of fun, it's an actual battle in the Colosseum. So yeah, anyways, we start this chapter off with a little bit more of hype for Gareth, because like if you're going to have an opponent one of the four knights, you should at least hype the opponent up a bit. And now we have a little bit of that for Gareth with Beltrope and the guy who is like his assistant, bodyguard, whatever, talking about and saying that Gareth has actually returned to this tournament. They say the previous year's champion, aka Gareth, has returned to this tournament again. As Beltropa is like, oh, he didn't leave last time, which may imply there's something else that's keeping Gareth from being able to leave. And fine if he's already a champion 1 year, so what's keeping him? Maybe, I don't know, like, there might be some attachment regarding his magic that might be keeping him in Fine that we will learn in the next chapter, but that's a spoiler for next week. But regardless, Betrepe is then like, oh, I hope he'll be able to, oh yeah, he has a really weird type of magic. I hope this time he'll be able to entertain me, implying that whoever is the champion has to at least fight Beltrope. I guess it's kind of like one of those things where it's like Pegasus, where Pegasus is like the animatic fighter that you have to do in Yu-Gi-Oh! Duel Monsters. So maybe it's kind of like that type of thing, or maybe uh, for a wish or something. Like you need to beat Beltrope to get the wish. If not, you maybe can leave? I don't know. It feels like a weird thing that they mentioned the fact that Beltropa seemed to have fought Gareth at least once, or he at least has hopes that Gareth could put up a chance against him. So yeah. Anyways, then we cut to the spectators as we have Edlin and Bors there on the bench, and they're like, man, we came here to help the four knights in their goal, but now we're just ending up warming their benches. It's kind of disappointing when you think about it. As Boris is like, I mean, Pelio and House came here for the same reason, and they aren't sitting on the bench, but whatever. I'm not gonna mention that to him, at least to his face. But anyways, then we have them also talking about like the four knights, wondering, wait, what if the four knights was wins up? Like, what if one of the four knights isn't able to win the tournament? No, and since like usually these tournaments have ways where even weaker characters can beat stronger characters. I mean, how the fact that the Odre say it's pretty much evident there's going to be a way for weaker characters to beat stronger characters. So yeah, and with that, the notion Adler immediately goes to his kind of scumbaggy roots a bit. Because if you remember, Adler was a leader of like a gang of thieves or thugs in the outside of Britannia when we first saw him. So it's kind of still gotta be that kind of trait with him being a bit of a gambler. As Adler's like, I am happy you brought this on because I was thinking about gambling. So yeah, we have a bit of a. I do want to know how this is gonna go with the gambling, but whatever. So, anyways, then we have the announcement of the first round starting as we have Gareth and Percival entering the round with Adlan screaming at Percival to kick his ass, kick that stupid Gareth out, and all that stuff. As then all the other fighters are. They're not there, but they are kind of like allowed to watch from the entranceway uh, of the tournament as they are as then the very okay. They're technically a hooded figure, but we can all guess it's the fake sold. I sold the character because immediately when she saw she's Trish and or Tantrish she calls him. She kind of jumps out of her chair and immediately goes grabs the who goes to the edge of the stands as she looks at the Tantress there as he's kind of like, I'm not sure if he's aware that she's there because he told her to just relax in that little hole that he has for her, or if uh, or if he or if he's aware but like, "Oh, I wish you didn't come, but whatever, I guess I will have to deal with you later." But anyway, she's there as Boris and Edlin are looking at her. They don't know it's the same person, but they'll probably figure out doing it. And it's, I mean, this really does make you kind of wonder how exactly why these people just don't grabbing these weird figures, or at least not planning to grab these weird figures while to take these figures away as well. Because like I don't think there's a reason why they have to keep them there and whatever. But anyways, Fake Soul's there, and we'll see how she's gonna get relevant later. So yeah, anyways, then Beltrapa enters the arena where he makes like a giant spiral for him to look at from the top as he sits on his chair, definitely trying to get a statue made of him, as he just casually like sits there and is like, I suppose I should make some kind of statement, right? Alright, all of you people, losers who I couldn't give less of a shit about, I'm going to allow you to watch this contest play out, or watch with me this contest play out, and all that. Anyways, the rules of this tournament are simple. Kill one another, knock each other out of the of the main Coliseum area, or just knock each other, or just knock up, have a knockout, or have your opponent made defeat. Either one of those, either one of those criteria counts. So whichever one pick, and you win. So yeah, as then Caps are looking at it as Gawain's kind of like, well, aren't you a careful motherfucker? Because it's revealed that Bill Trepe in that tower actually has put like a little shield around, a little protective dome around him, so no one could really to get a strike at him. Which is kind of funny how even like, yeah, it's like one of those things where I do have to appreciate the fact that Bill Tripper, despite how arrogant he is, like he's very arrogant. Like this chapter demonstrates that he is indeed arrogant, but it also shows that he's not brain dead by being like, all right, I'll be an obvious target where I'll be an obvious the target for our enemies. Obviously, they're gonna try to take an opportunity to attack me. So, in best case scenario, I should probably put at least some form of the protection around me, just even if I'm not concerned. But I should put it just for the sake of, which I do appreciate. Like I can see why people call Metropa the goat show but yeah. Anyways, they are now 100% certain the only way they can actually beat Metropa is when one of them wins the tournament. Although knowing if Senna sins, there's probably gonna be some kind of interruption. Although I feel like most tournaments do come to their like final stages before they get interrupted by something, but whatever. So, anyways, then we have Boris looking at Percival being like, huh, this is the guy that Anne was hyping up so much. Hmm. Well, time to see what kind of man you are, Percival. As Ella is in the background screaming, kick his ass, Percival! So, yeah. Anyways, then we start the tournament with Gareth immediately going for strikes as he sends like multiple strikes at them. As Anne's like, wow, so many strikes so quickly. His Gareth individual is quite skilled. As Don is like looking at it and be like, you could see every single one of those. As Nas is like, yes, but Percival is also amazing because he managed to block so many of them. It's like one of those, like, it's both very amazing strikers and fast. But anyways, after Percival just knocks all those attacks down, he just strikes at Gareth, which sends him back a bit because Percival's a physical powerhouse. As then Percival uses his like his Green Lantern powers to make like giant hands that to squash Gareth down. As Gareth avoids them, but unfortunately for one of the hands, he actually hits. Well, I think it's like one of the fingers hits Gareth's leg, so that kind of puts Gareth in a bit of a tight spot. Like as as then kind of slows him down. As then Percival sends one. Which first of all, it's this all these attacks cause like a bit of a smoke screen to occur, but then Percival uses his magic to sense Gareth. As then when he sends it, he sends another hand down to squash Gareth, which impresses Boris. Be like, oh, so this is the man that I was talking about. Yeah, I can see why she has such a high opinion of him. As they're like, yeah, give him a hell, Percival! As then Don is in like, wow, this fight makes the battle against Dalsker look like chop change, huh? Talk about power creeping levels, huh? Which, to be fair, though, at this point you could probably defeat Dalsker on your own, but whatever. So yeah, anyways, after this strike, that's the whole. It first looks like Percival won, but then there's like a bit of a smoke clear situation where it's revealed that while he did hit Gareth, it didn't actually do anything. It was just kind of like it kind of passed through Gareth as Gareth was having his like wicked smile, as he was having his be very confident. As then, another Gareth appears like, "Thank you." I think he says something like Louvre or Leave or something. It's like I think it's a name on Al, but I'm not telling you what exactly the name is. As he thanks this person about, I'm guessing coming in taking the hit in his stance or misdirecting Percival's attack, and while he could probably pick himself up from that little strike, as it figures like if yeah, no big deal. As Percival's like, huh? There are two Gareths! As we see the two Gareths there, as this explains why Gareth had no memory of Percival and Edlin the previous time, because I guess what Edlin did was he created this, okay, we do find out what this being is in the next chapter, but I'm not gonna spoil right now, but basically the way I see it, in the Battle Royale, when Gareth was looking at the Tempest tornado, be like, this are annoying, he released loot or create loot or whatever you want to say it to go into the tornado and then like knock out the person or the opponent that was created. But unfortunately, Hauser and Adlan were both together, so the figure first knocked out Adlan before he could go after Hauser. But when Hauser was able to be attacked, Percival appeared and then changed the whole thing. But regardless, this is the reason why or Gareth had no idea about who Percival and Edlin are, because he wasn't the one who actually struck them. So yeah, it's kind of a 2 versus 1 fight right now, but whatever. I mean, we'll see the whole show that's next chapter for Knights of the Apocalypse, but whatever. So yeah, anyway, so after 4 nights, we then have One Piece chapter 1130, titled The Accursed Prince. And the Accursed Prince is right. So yeah, anyways, we start this chapter off with the Straw that are on the giant warrior pirate ship as they they basically give us a bit of a breakdown about what they've been doing for the couple of, I don't know, they say it was a couple of days. It's kind of a weird timeline wise what's going on, because from what we can tell, this has only been a couple of hours to maybe a day or so, but the characters act as if they've been at this for a bit of a longer period of time. I mean, to be fair, it's possible that they woke up immediately after the Straw Hats were taken away by Rhodes' Pat. So it's like when they been panicking about where they are, they've actually Straw Hats haven't even reached Rhodes' place. So maybe it's like one of those things, but whatever. They are telling the giant. Frankie is kind of taking charge now because like he's kind of the one that's. I would say he's like the most suitable to be leader, but he has like the most leadership kind of present about him, as he thanks the giants for searching them, but. It's clear that we are not finding them. There's clearly no trace of them. All we can do at this point is trust that they'll be able to get us to Elbaf. We were in this type of stuff beforehand. We had like one set destination, and then we eventually all came together. That was literally time. We had literally have a time skip that something like this happened. So be so while so for right now, it's basically we just assume that they will get to Elbaf, look for them in Elbaf, or find them in Elbaf, or whatever, because we have no supplies and we cannot survive this long without supplies or anything. Then we have like a literal child. We have a guy who probably needs medical assistance, and we're limited on supplies when it comes to technology because you guys are Vikings for crying out. So, regardless of how you look at it, we are in no position to waste time looking for shards if there's no clues anywhere. We have to just trust them, as we also gonna kind of get like all of these all these straw hats kind of giving their own little quirks about it. So yeah. Anyways, the Giants are like, well, if you trust your side of your crew that much, and we might as well go with that. Anyways, let's buy it until we get to Elbaf. As like we have already ate and drank everything, we can't party. Ah, damn it. So yeah. Anyways, we get our little update as then we return to Alabasta 6 as they are leaving the prison place, as they're wondering where are they and if this is Albaf or not. And then also notice how like big everything is. So they are probably at Albaf if all the trees here are so big. But yeah, anyways, then they spot and hear two people talking, which are Gert and Goldberg from the New John Warrior parts of Harusian School. We did see both of these two doing the cover page, similar with Road. So we have the two of them going to Road because they heard that one of his pet birds was carrying some people to him, and this would kind of count as trespassers, and these are trespassers because he made them trespassers. So there's kind of a bit of a thing here, and we also have like the girl, kind of very much shit talking Road, saying how Prince Loki's a disgrace of the Giants. No, Road is a disgrace of the Pirates, which depending probably when you look at it, but whatever. Goldberg seems to be kind of like, well, he's talented as a navigator, so he's required. It's fine. It's kind of funny how he makes people more trespassers than they actually are. So yeah. Anyways, they go into the now. Luffy wants to get their attention to talk to them to solve all of this needless misunderstanding, or at least get rolled in trouble quicker. But Nami stops them because they have the the trespassers part, and they're like, oh my god, if we come out there and expose ourselves, we'll be considered trespassers. Oh shit, oh shit, oh shit, we're in trouble, we're in trouble. But anyways, they don't realize they're safe because they don't know who the crew is. Like, they have no idea who are all the members of Hyrudian crew. Like, they know that Hyrudian has a crew because actually Zoro and Luffy are the only ones that knows up there. He would probably remember. Yeah, Hyrudian said that he has a couple of giants that are his crew members, but they don't know it's these two and Road. So they are kind of just thinking, oh my god, it's not. We shouldn't expose ourselves to them, but whatever. As then they into the which to be fair they do hear Goldberg and Girl do hear a little bit, but they are not certain what it was. But anyways, they just kind of go into the prison to get Road, ask if he's there, and probably I just imagine the next chapter or chapter after that is going to have like a Road screaming at the damn you straw hats! So how dare you use that? You destroy my place and then execute me. While Good and Goldberg are gonna be there, and they're gonna be so straw hats are here, huh? And you want to represent them, you scummy bastard, you! As they probably will hit Road on the head for his stupidity. So yeah. Anyways, then the Sharks are a bit happy because because they heard from Goldberg and Gerd that this is Albeth, so they're 100% on Albeth now. As then as then they are leaving through across the bridge, which is because it's giant, so it's a lot bigger, so they're having a bit of a hard time jumping around it a bit. As then, while they're crossing the bridge, Luffy senses someone really inconsistently powerful. Someone that oh my god, someone here is very powerful and very significant. I'm quite curious on who he is. As then, Luffy just tells the crew, "Okay, continue. I want to check this person out." As they, as he just jumps off to go and contact person as Zoro wants to accompany him, but Sanji smacks over his hand and be like, hey, you wanna bring up how we need to act like a Yonko crew, so we are going to be acting like a Yonko crew. You're the right hand in command here, so you are gonna be not, so if your captain tells you to stay here and go along normally, then you stay and listen, you moron. I'm just not going to stop pointing out Zoro's hypocrisy. I'm sorry. I'm just gonna do that constantly. But yeah, anyway, Sanji keeps Zoro from going after Luffy as Luffy goes to that figure, go into that forest that's down below the bridge that is being currently filled with wolves. But they are just giant wolves. Luffy can handle them at this point. I mean, he was training with giant animals for crying out loud. So yeah. Anyways, then we cut back to the giant warrior pirates as they get morning news where they have like like that we basically get the cover story that the safe face for the world government story where it's the Straw Hats took Vegapunk hostage. Straw Hat Luffy killed Vegapunk. Damn you, Straw Hats! As Lilith is in the background, be like, "Oh, so Luffy killed me." As Frank is like, "No, he didn't. Why are you so happy about that information?" Like that's like literally being told that you died because of him. Why would you be pleased? So I'm guessing this kind of reactions are the reason why she's considered the evil one. So yeah. Anyways, then the giants are kind of like spouting, "Oh my god, what lies are these? What the hell's all this lies? We didn't attack the ACAT. It was the fucking Marines that were attacking and causing trouble. They almost killed the civilians that were escaping." So because I guess they're not up to date with how the world government needs to save face and all that, but whatever. As then while they're also discussing, they kind of bring up the fact that this attack that they made also caused Blow and Boggy to get new bounties to probably justify on why two people who were only at 100 million pre-times can now are able to, go up against the Celestial, by go against the Elders. So we have them stating, "Oh look, you two both got new bounties," and I think it's now like 1.3 billion or something Barry's like, what? Wow, the inflation is so fucking horrible. Has gotten so up from the time when we were in our heyday. I mean, we're not even back, but this is like these bounties are huge. So it's kind of like one of those kind of things. Which some people are questioning on why exactly on the Shroud Pirates getting higher bounties because, I mean, if the Blue and Bug are gonna get the new bounties, then Luffy should also get a high bounty. I mean, the story is they invaded A-Cat and they killed Vegapunk, so why aren't their bounties higher? But yeah, it's kind of the same thing as Luffy's bounty being kind of low even after the Marine Fort and everything he got involved there. It's the same logic there, or maybe they did get new bounties. It's just that the thing is, I do question if these Straw Hats, the ones on the Albert ship, would actually have much of a reaction if they got new bounties. Like, I mean, I could see Frankie be like, "Oh, super! I got 1.2 billion." I'm just spending nonsense on my ass. I'm just like giving an example. But the rest of the show, that's like Robin. I don't think she would really have much of a reaction. I think even in the last bounty update, I don't think she had like an insane reaction towards it. I don't think she was interested. I think she was like more focused on Chopper's bounty than her own. Um, Jinbe, I don't really think he gives a shit about the bounties either. Again, I think he wasn't even react. Again, I feel like Robin and Jimmy didn't even react to their bounties. Brooke, does he react to his bounties or does he just like casually wave them to the side? Because I don't think Brooke reacts to bounties either. So this is a crew that I don't think would really react to bounties very much. And yeah, Joey Boy got no bounty update either, but kind of surprised honestly. But who knows? Like I could honestly see this being a thing in the end of the Albath, where maybe uh, someone notices like what is this? The newspapers and like as like Nami knows the newspapers and she's like, oh, what are these? Is that a newspaper? Monkey D. Luffy, 420 billion. We got new bounties. Damn you! I mean, I don't know. It's kind of like one of those like whichever especially you want, but it's probably just not to keep the. It's probably just so the story doesn't increase the bounties on shards too much. But yeah, anyways, what does take everyone's attention is Luffy is the image of Luffy on the wanted poster because when they look at Luffy, then his sun god form, they notice that he has like an axe on his arm that they haven't noticed before, which is this axe on the arm is obviously meant to like connect back to Alabasta with Vivi because that's the symbol they made when they were leaving. The iconic moment where they have like the axe on the arm as they're leaving and all that. So that's what that symbolizes, but the thing is now the straw that's present really know, which is probably the reason why Chopper was also taken away from it, because Chopper would recognize he knows what this means, while the rest of the characters have no idea. I guess it's again supposed to like foreshadow the fact that they don't really know Vivi, so except for Robin, who's again like I think I remember something about this axe on Luffy's hand, but I just cannot put my fingers on it. Maybe once he sees Vivi, it's gonna be, oh right, the axe on the arm, that's the thing they did when they were leaving or something. But yeah, anyways, that's they mentioned that something like I saw them having that axe after Alabasta, but that's about it. So yeah. Anyways, then we cut. Then we have some of the new giant. Well, then we have the giant warrior pirates having a little bit of a lore dump on us with how exactly the giant royals work. And they reveal that the previous king of the giants was actually killed by Prince Loki, the guy who was mentioned in Whole Cake Island, the one who was supposed to marry Lola, but they didn't. But Lola didn't love Loki, so she left, and there was a whole fallout because of that. So they revealed that Loki So I'm guessing sometime before the current chapters, killed his father to get like a legendary fruit that's been passing down across the line of giant royals, and how it took like the entire giant, the entire nation of Albath to beat Loki down, to chain him up to the Yggdrasil tree and all that, and all that, as well as that Hyuden is now the subordinate of the Straw Pirates and all that. So yeah, I think some of this is also mentioned in the beginning of the story with Gert and Goldberg, because Gert mentions like Loki about like how he's not the real disgrace of the Elbaf, it's Roth. So it's kind of a similar thing here about how we're getting kind of like a building up to Loki's reveal, because again, I guess because Loki's kind of more opposite of what many people thought he was gonna be. You know, many people thought he was gonna be more like an Usopp character, but for the Giants. But now but let's just say that Loki's a lot more badass of a character. The latest this chapter makes Loki a lot more badass. So yeah. Now, as for the legendary devil fruit that's mentioned in this chapter, no one knows what this is. Is it maybe the actual gum gum fruit? Is it some kind of mythical Zoan fruit? No one knows. It's just that the Giants mentioned that he wanted that fruit, that he killed his father over it, and now has that fruit. Which does make me hope that we might finally get an explanation how that fruit reincarnations works. It's, it's always been kind of ambiguous. Like, it's just like the closest fruit. Is it a certain type of fruit, or how does that exactly work? But whatever, hopefully we'll get an explanation on it pretty soon. If not in the actual store, at least in our volume extras. I imagine someone has, and at least ask, hey Oda, what counts as a downfall reincarnation? Because I don't think it's ever been directly stated yet. So anyways, then we cut back to Luffy, and we see that figure that he was impressed by their hockey and was sensing is actually Loki, who is this pretty sizable giant with like a very cool, like kind of a Viking slash biker gang kind of look to him, as he's tied to this tree with chains, and he has his eyes covered. He tells Loki, "Hey, who is here? Name yourself before Prince Loki." As Luffy is impressed by him, says, "I am Giant Luffy. I'll be the king of the pirates, and I've been wondering if this is Elbaf, or if we are on Elbaf, or where are we?" As uh, Loki's like, Giant Luffy, the king of the pirates, huh? Well, guess what? You are an Elbaf now. As we end this chapter on a shot of Elbaf in its glory and detail, and I'm saying that all the Elbaf hype are now super happy and pleased about finally get to see it as we end the chapter there. So yeah, next we have One Punch Man chapter 206 titled Special. I guess the character who gets introduced for the new heroes this week, this in this chapter is special in some ways, but whatever. So anyways, we start this chapter off with the two non-Neo leader candidates getting escort out with Dastro and whatever the chick's name was away, because they're not Neo leaders, they shouldn't be infighting and all that type of stuff, as they sort of follow them quietly. Well, that the boxer, the guy, I think it was Max Lee or something, or just Matt or something. He is kind of like, hey, for now, don't be careful how you touch me. My wrist is broken, for crying out loud, you stupid security or something. As they're like, yes, we will escort you to the medical center. As then uh, the boxer is like pissed off at the other guy because they agreed to beat one of the Neo leaders to get the position of a Neo leader, but this guy immediately like kind of shut up and follow the instructions. As as we find, as first he's screaming at him, but then he's like, "Why are you not reacting at all?" This is okay. Now this is starting to get. Is there something else that is the reason why you're not just kind of going along with it without any kind of reactions? As we get inside the head of this guy, as he reveals to us that The reason why he's kind of very terrified of them is that these two security are 94 and 95% cyborg robotic. And they're like, I think what Baby Gaza is like 74%, and she was like freakish about her modifications. But these two are almost 100%, so the guy is kind of terrified of these two, and he's like, we really shouldn't be messing with those two. If anyone, we should be messing with these two. So he's kind of, this is the reason why he's kind of just obediently going along with them, because they're just way too modified. So this has also spun a bunch of theories about who these two are, but so far we haven't, gotten any more updates on that side, but we'll have to wait and see. So yeah, anyways, after these two leave, we cut back to the new leaders meeting as we have YB Gaza falling on her knees, and it's revealed that she has a bit of a headache in her head. And the reason, as Child Emperor is a bit panicked, oh, YB Gaza, what's wrong? Are you alright or something? Is something the matter? As YB Gaza says, my head is connected to the main server, and in the last couple of days, I've been having this headache as if someone is trying to hack into my brain. As Wabi Gaza then, as she, I guess, regains her composure from that hacker, looks at Child Emperor as in, you wouldn't by any chance be hacking into the main server now, would you, Child Emperor, former S-Class of the Hero Association? Which does cause Child Emperor to be, oh shit, is she suspecting me, or is she just looking at me like this? Because, for the last couple of chapters, we saw that Webby Gaza looks very much like a doll and very robotic, so she has a kind of unsettling appearance to her. And we have a similar thing here with her being a bit as she kind of has like this, as she kind of has like a appearance. So I'm not sure if the thing about Webby Gaza is the way that the web comic made her look. It was more like, okay, even if it was kind of like similar to Raiden and not sure you like, okay, she's not, from what we've seen, she's not on the Neo Hero Assault as a corrupt organization sense, but it does seem like Child Emperor was kind of suspicious of her, and they, in this last couple of chapters, do again redelegate why that's kind of the way we should be thinking of it, because Child Emperor or Second God, one of them is like, so this is where Neo Heroes get their funding. Billionaires, philanthropists, cultists, and big hats in the entertainment industry. So putting her in kind of like that Neo Heroes as evil parts. But the way that the webcomic made it look like it's not in the same sense. Not certain this is meant to be like she's aware or not. So far, it doesn't seem like she's aware. Maybe they just kind of sort of, alright, out of all the Neo leaders, we can definitely put her in the most. We have to keep our eyes out just for the sake of. Shiryu, it's fine, but she is kind of iffy. So, yeah. And this again kind of redelegates that kind of mindset with her looking at with that creepy expression. But luckily for us, Shiryu is here to destroy that tension as he immediately just grabs her and he's like, Princess holds her and says like, headaches are no thing that can be ignored. We should take you to a medical examiner quickly. As she's again trying to explain, it's nothing medical. It's literally just a hack in a server. As he's like, no, I can feel from this stress that you're very burning up. You must be very sick right now. You're very honorable that you've been able to endure during this meeting. And she's like, no, it's just my regular body temperature. As Shiryu goes to the rec room, but which calms Child Emperor down that she'll not get suspicious of him or to kind of focus something else. But then Shiryu pops back his head back in and is like, actually, where's the medical room anyways? I was literally, a couple hours ago, I was literally just in the recruitment center and it was immediately brought here as a Neo leader. So he has no idea, but Webby Gaza just pissed at him, so she just does the tsundere head punch. As Metal Bat's like, well, at least this guy's a good guy. So they can probably eliminate Shiryu of the people they have to be insanely worried about. So yeah, anyways, we have to wait and see how cute and how Shiryu and Wabiga's interaction is gonna go now, because so far the only couples that we have in this series are lesbians. Nothing wrong, it's just kind of funny that that Fubuki and Psychos are the closest thing to a couple we have. Then that's mocking that random civilian that she indirectly saved while she was fighting Saitama. So yeah. Anyways, then we got to Metalbat's introduction, because he didn't have a proper introduction yet, because he doesn't really matter that much. How he was a former S-class hero and all that nonsense, which then has Iyuman kind of saying, so in other words, he's an idiot. Which does kind of amuse Metalbat a bit. It's like, yeah, it's probably is stupid of me to change hero careers just because I thought the old way of justice was better, but oh well, I guess you and I will get along quite well, senpai, as in Uman being his eldest, that's why he refers to him as a senpai, proper honorifics and all that, even though in the hero business, Malbat is more of a senpai than Uman is. Which this approach does kind of intimidate Uman, because he's like, are you gonna start shit with me, yeah, boy? Again, kind of nervous, so yeah. I guess we're gonna have to wait and see if Malbad versus Uman is going to happen. So yeah, anyways, then after we get deal with Malbad, we then get to the main leader of the Neo Heroes, so the guy who's like one of the key figures, which they do the whole like introduction, like this is the guy who started with the idea. This is the guy that got the connection, got us all together, the start. As A's like, when I heard that 10-year-old was gonna be one of the Neo leaders, I was kind of weird out, kind of thinking it's a joke. But when I found that a 16-year-old is gonna be one of the key figures, I was even more so. As we have revealed this 16-year-old they are mentioning is Blue, who is the leader of the Neo leaders, and also Blast's son, as we get a close up of the eyes to prove that he has the Blast genes in him. As then we have Blue telling starts getting kind of gives like a monologue to the rest of the Neo leaders, saying that the point of the Neo leaders is to be true heroes, to show what true heroism looks like. We will follow justice to save humanity. So lend me your strength, Neo leaders, so we will be able to create a better future for everyone and everything. To be true heroes, the world. As when he ends this little monologue, we cut back to Blast versus Empty Void, as Blast punches him in the face. Which I'm kind of surprised that we seem to be heading back into the fight between Blast and Empty Void, because in the web comic there was another, yeah, I think there was another character revealed who was like the the business sense leader of the Neo Heroes, but here it's just the Blue as the final one that's revealed. But anyways, wait, was it revealed here or was it revealed a bit later? I think it was revealed in this part, although maybe it was revealed later, because I know what's just happened. Like Malbat gets into a little bit of trouble where the guy who's actually in charge shows up, and he that explains why they're a bit suspicious, but Malbat just kind of goes along with it because or he understands it. But I'm not sure if he was revealed in that chapter, or if he was revealed in this chapter, or in the webcomic chapter when all the Neo leaders were revealed. But regardless, we just have this monologue from Blue. These are all the Neo leaders, the ones who are going to be on our side, the ones who are going to be kind of iffy, and the ones who are going to be against them. So yeah, as now we continue the fight with Empty Void versus Blast. So yeah, we're gonna have to wait and see how long the next chapter is gonna be released. But anyways, that's the end for this introduction of New Heroes. Because now we have we ended for One Punch Man, because now we have Chain Soldier, chapter 142, titled Great Match. Feels like this should be a chapter at the end of this fight that's gonna start this chapter, but if you wanna start this chapter with battle with a title called Brain Match, and you do you. Oh my god, this is so not gonna help the writers. The suspicion that the writer is being kind of self congratulatory about his characters. So yeah, anyways, we start this chapter off expectedly with Vavera's plan not working. Like she talks about how, oh, after the training, Vavera, that Kyoka-sama embraced her disciples and all that to praise her, as then Fubuki tries to kind of get you do realize that it's the leadership of the whole squad, of the whole organization, not we know how good of a chief she is. We don't need that. We need reasons why we should vote for her in terms of like head of the organization. As Valvera just says, oh, she will of course without issue rely on the rest of the squad of the Medi MDF to Made Defense Force to get all of the to any of her drawbacks and uh, all that because it will not be necessary as it will, all that anything she lacks because she doesn't have like that ego that would make her unable to ask for help. Which is kind of a similar logic to Mira, but that doesn't really mean that they are better. Especially this is clearly done by someone who spent the last hour or two. I think it's just an hour long, but regardless, I don't know. Like I really question if Avera would be able to praise Kyoka in an hour or not. But regardless, Valvera's argument isn't really good. As then Azu kind of just wants to get away from it because when we started this, we also got like their faces where Fubuki was like, this is really not helping anything. It's just we already think that these are qualities that make her qualify, but not if she should be. Well, it's just had like yeah, talk more. Could we have just made love instead? As it's like, oh yeah, let's get off here. Okay, let's just praise Kyoka and say some nonsense about like some generic stuff about yes, we all learn again why Kyoka is amazing. Yes, let's get off here. Let's get off here. Because like Ezra doesn't want to be here again. Like this isn't helping Kevin's Ezra at all. You should have tried to seduce. Kyoko should try to seduce Azu. I mean, at least you lost a bit if you're just going to lost a bit against her. As then Valvera asks Konami about what does she think, and Konami is very embarrassed. Yes, Kyoka is great. As then Azu, being kind of the big sister that she is, pops into like, alright, this is a clear example of a little sis being too in a awkward situation. I'll just jump in and you don't have time to stick around, okay? Well, you see, we all like Kyoka, no, it's just, and you've never made us all love her even more. It's just, you see, we're kind of taken aback by your true personality, I guess. So it's kind of a little off-putting, you know? You're kind of cool to the side, chill one in the group, and now you're with these sparkly eyes and talking about how great Kyoka-sama is. It's kind of like, you know, kind of a off-putter, you know? Kind of awkward. As then Valvera realizes that what she's actually done is just kind of push Azu, Konomi, and Fubuki away, being like, I didn't convince any of you, or put any of you in the wanting to Kyoka, huh? As then after she shuts down her ability or after the hour is over, which I would actually find funny if Valvera, after realizing that, was just like, kind of just went to a priestess place and just like kind of put a book down and be like looking down in shock as they're just waiting for the ability to shut down something. So does the ability not shut down until you're finished speaking, or does the ability need that time limit? I'm gonna take that your science as it needs a time limit to pass. But anyways, after that scene, I hope we just have an awkward silence comedy moment there. We have Vavera coming to uh, Kyoka and apologizing to Kyoka that she wasn't able to convince them. If anything, she just pushed them away from voting for Kyoka. Uh, as Yuki and Kyoko do want to comfort her. No, no, you did. I'm certain that your speech about them probably did make them at least put all of your Kyoka's qualities to the front of their minds. As then, while Vavera is apologized, she also reveals that Ran did came in contact with her and offered her if Vavera votes for Ran, Ran will they free her mother from prison because that's kind of like a blackmail key card to use. But Vavera is obviously not going to do that. While you could definitely say that Vavera okay, it's kind of difficult to say how much Vavera truly loves her parents or how like her morality kind of in the way. Since like she said that her parents were loving towards her, they loved her, except not enough to a point that she'll acknowledge her father. But and then they loved her. It was all good for her. Like even when she was having her talk with her mother when her mother was imprisoned, her mother said, "I'm happy that you're being about med, to defense force and all that. I'm happy for your new life and all that. I hope you're going to have a lot. You're going to have a great time there, make friends and all that." So there's some level of action, but there's also some kind of more affection. So it's not like Valera is unreasonable when it comes to like I understand what my parents did was wrong, so I don't blame them and all that. But still, it's kind of a confusing little. But still, it's a logical key to use against Valera. But Valera is not going for it. She's just too dedicated to Kyoka to do it. So I'm honestly not surprised that Ryan blackmailed Valvera with this because even in the last chapter or two, we had like Azu stating, "Well, the thing is, Ryan takes very good care of my sister, so I don't really have a reason to go against her." So it's kind of like where it's kind of mutual. There's no real opposition from Azu, so it's again just remind all of us of that. So yeah. Anyways, and then we honestly this just makes a kind of question on how exactly what did Azu what did Kyoka exactly plan when it came to this election? Because the way she reacts now is like, damn it, the first day is done. I'm not getting any more votes. I got Tanka and Vaver, but those two were guaranteed before this. But now I haven't managed to achieve anything. Wait, no, it's just the first day, so it means I still have a chance. It's the reason I'm not getting any kind of support is because I haven't been able to get anything because it's the first day and all that. Which again, like I don't mind because I really do have to question on the plan here because it seems like that what it really seems like Kyoka's entire plan was revealed that Kyoko Onmo agencies honestly, I'm just gonna call it incompetence. I'll be sure of us. I'm just gonna call it incompetence when it comes to the whole when it comes to how they handle the humanoids hybrids, and then thought everyone just gonna out of the more sense just gonna vote for her against Ram because they've proven that actually just confirmed that yes, Ran is such a scumbag that she would hide the existence of humanoid hybrids and have them be horribly experimented. Like, it really feels like that was the entire plan. Which is a problem because I feel like with how much they were building on or how much they were talking about this, you'd think that Joker would make more plans, like try more to win them over because so far it seems like she's kind of just winging it. Just kind of like, alright, what's your stance now? Alright, I'll have to win you over in some way, but whatever. Whatever. The Kyoka is then decides that she needs to make a more bold move to get the support from the characters, and she'll make that in the next day. At least I'm assuming it's the next day since they have a new meeting, and I'm going to assume this is also means the next day. As they start talking about that, as Kyoka again reiterates, Relying on the gods to surrender is dumb. We can't trust them. We shouldn't trust them. I know you think you can beat them, but you haven't. But we actually fought them to death. We know We know have a better idea than you have. And of course, Ryan doesn't take this seriously. She thinks I can just beat them. We beat them once, so it's fine. There's no logic. Which I really wish we actually did get. We actually had some kind of basis for it. Like I really wish what the West should have done is if before we had this like election before Shinoku gave the offer of surrender, if we had like the remaining gods of thunder attack the to bases, destroy them, and then Shinoku appeared. That way we could take them more seriously. Like let's say Mira fought against Naohime and Mira lost. The base was destroyed, but they were all left alive. Jurune attacked the fifth base, defeated everyone, and then left. Jakun attacked the first base, defeated everyone, and then left. Shinoku then appeared at the 10 base, and she just said, "Oh no, those attacks were just to make sure that we are on the same page, that we are not, that this is still kind of a balanced fight or something." Not I think that way we could take the words from that way the words where Kyoka says, "They are not weak, you woman. You think you are able to beat everything, but you cannot." That way we'll have a bit more of a stronger impact, because now it just really does feel like it's gonna be falling on deaf ears. But regardless of that, Kyoka does wanna actually make Ren realize that this is a wrong mindset by challenging Ren to a duel. It's gonna be a 60 basically the term that she uses because it's not unreasonable, because again Ren as well as Bell have this very high opinion of Ren's power level, with even five being able to survive 5 seconds against Ren being impossible, which to be fair, that's is kind of how it's been shown, but we're gonna see about a little bit later. But anyways, Kyoka's plan right now, or the point of this fight is gonna be, it's gonna be a 1 minute long fight, or 60 seconds, I think it was just that. If if she if Rand beats Kyoka beforehand, it's just again retaliating what Kyoka thinks. But if uh, Kyoka lasts these this 1 minute, she wins, kind of thing. So they'll be showing a bit of that, and that's kind of what the plan is, to kind of prove it. It's kind of like a good way to show, you if you can beat me in a minute, then it's fine. But if you can't beat me in a minute, that's clearly proves that you're wrong. Which, okay, we'll get into this during the fight, but let's just say that the point of this is to prove that Ran isn't as an untouchable as Ran believes, as well as the government officials believe, and even Bell and maybe as a few others believe. So yeah, Ran accepts this challenge to see if how right or wrong, or well, it is just wrong Ran is about how weak she believes everyone else is. Which, I have to wonder what would have happened if there was another human who ate a peach ability, and their peach ability would be some kind of god related. Like, let's say someone ate a peach and they got the 12 gods of Olympus type of powers. Like, what would she think of that individual? Probably still consider them weaker, but I imagine they would be a little bit more equal in terms of power. But, anyways, we have to wait and see, because right now we're going to get into this fight, which has actually been foreshadowed in the previous chapter, with this being the fight that Yuki is going to have. That's like a very great match. So yeah. Anyways, like I said, the point of this is it's kind of an all nothing challenge, where it's basically supposed to prove to Rand that she cannot beat everything, she can't handle everything, with her losing in a minute, or at least in a match where it's definitive that she cannot. In a match that's going to very much favor. Then we have the Azuma grandma making a clock, saying, "All right, while we respect this match, we are not killing each other. No killing, just standard blocks. No killings, just standard fight. This fight ends in a minute, or if one of the opponents is knocked down, and that's it. As then we begin this fight with Ren immediately jumping and going for like she immediately thinks that she's gonna win this. Like she goes immediately in the air to go for I think she kick. I think I'm forgetting how exactly the fight goes, but I think she kicks the at Kyoka to knock her down, but Kyoka and Yuki are able to dodge it, and then they go. And then when and then when Ran goes for a punch, Kyoka it uses her like sword combination with Yuki to which she has increased since the fight against Ryren. She uses that to go for Ran, and then Ran is unable to land the hit before, and so she's forced to use the hand to block the strike from Kyoka, which cuts Kyoka's hand, but does blow a bit of Kyoka's shoulder off, which then brings uh, has the two of them fall back on the ground as they're all like still standing in the tournament. As then Ran looks at the hand, but then reveals that she has a healing ability. Like she reveals a new one, and that's healing. As they're like, oh, so it's true that Ran does have a healing ability, which Fubuki does say there was some suspicion about it, but they were never certain. Which does make kind of wonder where that suspicion came from, because Ran said that she never needed to use the healing ability, but maybe she never need to use that in a battle, but maybe she like did get herself caught at one time, and then that's where the spell or something. Or maybe they just were like throwing at random abilities she could be having. Personally, I don't really Personally, it's not really that impressive because again, remember Shinoko also has a healing ability, and she's like one of the weaker members of the Gods of Thunder. But again, it's kind of a nice demonstration of showing us. And what other people don't seem to, well, at least something that's been pointed out is that this pretty much proves that what Kyoka is saying is true. Captors were so hyping up Ran, but here you have Kyoka being able not only to survive Ran's attacks, but also damaging her. And Ran essentially needs to use her healing ability to kind of make it look less like a take away some of the actual impact from the Kyoka's attack that people are unaware of. But Kyoka's attack to make it look less, but it has again proves Kyoka's words. But it's not probably not going to matter to a lot of them. Except I could see like Fubuki. I mean, okay, Fubuki. I definitely feel like would be smart, especially if as Ran just continues her arrogant streak. I could even see like at the end of the fight, like I could even see. Okay, I'll get into how I think the fights will end, but I could see Fubuki calling Ran out, being like, "She proved that you're not as almighty as you think you are by the fact that your arm was cut. You needed your healing ability to recover. This proves Kyoka's words. It may have been perfect, but it was what this was meant to prove. But we have to wait and see." About it, as then Ran is like, oh, kind of goes into like a bit of a boxing stance, like, oh, I'll fight you in the same sense you will fight. As then Kyoka is also like, fight like me, and she gets a sword right, so they'll be having a clash. As Yuki is just confused, looking around himself, like, damn it, how do I do to help Ran? And I'll be honest, I really hope that Yuki in this fight reveals to us what that power up that the gods of thunder are supposed to be giving him, because so far there hasn't been any indication what that is, even though they're supposed to have it. It was even brought up that, or to be fair, the gods of thunder themselves don't know what the power up is gonna be, because for Fumiko, I think it was Fumiko, mentioned, oh, is that like ability from that slave form from Avera? Is that because of our power ups? With Kyoto saying, oh, no, I think that's just a trait because of Avera's ability, not because of us. So, what is that power up from Yuki that is from gods? And I feel like this is a fight where it really should be revealed, especially with Yuki wondering how can he help. So, I do feel like that power up would make the most amount of sense to get into play here to actually, show us what it is. But we don't know. Now, as for how this fight is gonna end, like, alright, so there is some people who said they would be angry if, alright, one thing is the way that the writer is going for. I really don't think Ran should be getting her confidence being brought down already, all because like it makes more sense for it to be when the gods beat the shit out of her than when there's like relatively no stakes, no issue kind of fighting scenario. From that perspective, I really don't think that Ren should be losing this match without it then heavily Ran a giant victory afterwards. Like, she gets rid of Tanka, she gets rid of Kyoka, she gets rid. Oh, Ravia is more iffy, but like, get rid of Tanka, get rid of Kyoka in one fell swoop. Be able to do more whatever you want with all the humanoids, and if Ram loses in this fight, she should do something insane to get her ego back on track. It's kind of like a similar problem with the Acolyte, where you cannot have, uh, where you have to, where it does a horrible job in showing us why the Jedi was still so arrogant in the prequels, because they had such a big loss at the end of Acolyte. So why would they so arrogant? So it's kind of a similar part here, where Ren cannot have a big loss without her, with to a point that it will make that actual moment where she's supposed to lose impactful enough. But we'll have to wait and see on that side of things. But again, I feel like there will be probably some issues if. But again, I feel like they're kind of throwing all their cards right at it. If, let's say, Kyoka does lose immediately, or does lose in this instance, again, this is supposed to be a more all nothing strategy. But I could definitely see after this fight, like, even if it's like more of a. Even if, like, Kyoka loses consciousness in the last second, I do feel like 1 second. It was like 1 second, and Kyoka would have won this challenge, which I could see Ryan like being, oh yes, I am still at the peak. I'm still at, as then like through Buki and maybe Konami also like, you got your arm caught. You barely won this challenge. Kyoka's words are true. But again, we're gonna have to wait and see on how this whole thing unfolds. But anyways, that's enough for Chain Soldier. As then we got to the penultimate chapter of the week with Chainsaw Man, chapter 181, titled Trees on the Mind. Oh, tree people, I would call it, but whatever. Anyways, we start this chapter off with Asa walking through the forest and is losing it a bit. And she's like, no, if there has to be a way to escape this. I mean, we've been in a world created by the prematorial devils beforehand, right? She also took off her shirt off, so yeah, we're honestly where this goes. So also as he's walking through this forest in the spears, like, there has to be a way to escape. Maybe if we use my abilities, maybe I could create a portal or something. Yes, that has to be. I just have to use my powers to create a portal. As then Euro takes over the body, and she just uses Bang on herself, but it doesn't work. As then Euro also grabs a tree branch to make a tree saw, but it also doesn't work, which then causes Euro to fall into the spear. She hits herself on the tree. It's like, no, damn it! It's all that stupid chains sauce devil's fault. Damn you all! Which kind of nerves Asa for seeing Euro in this such a panicky and depressed state. As then as Euro is punching the tree, someone says, "Oh." As then Euro looks at the thing that just sat on the tree, as it just said, oh, as it sees that it has a human face on it, as then causes Euro to scream in horror, like, ah! And she runs back to where Danji was. She falls on top of Danji, as in that guy who was screaming Marie, Marie in the last chapter is, I guess, regaining his senses back, as he says, oh, you must have seen the tree people that I've been talking about in the last chapter. You see, when you enter this world, you spent, after 1,000 or so years, you start becoming one with the trees, and your body starts to fuse with it and become part of their roots. And then after some time, when you're in that state, you start to you start and it's not until and then after you finish your life cycle as a tree, that's where you kind of re-enter the real world and all that type of stuff. Uh, uh, so I guess this guy knows how that thing kind of works. At least that's what he assumes. That's how this works. He also refers to you by some other girl's name, so this guy's clearly just not saying random names at this point. But anyways, after this being called this pisses you off, and she starts punching and beating. Then she's saying it's all his fault. You fucking chainsaw man. If it wasn't for you, I wouldn't be stuck in this world, becoming part of a tree, which actually does awaken Danji, which starts having him be again his depressed day as he's just crying like, oh, this is all my fault. Oh, this is my punishment. This is the punishment I deserve. Oh, I should become just part of this stupid tree world and become a tree. This is what happens from and I'm for being just an empty-headed horn dog. This always happens, which then looks like it pisses Danji's crying pisses you off a bit more, but instead of going for a punch, it actually goes for a kiss. So where this is gonna go is no one's guess, but it's clear that two of them are just kind of losing at this point, or at least they're just kind of done with the whole thing, which is something I've honestly been kind of predicting would happen. Like with all that shit they're being thrown at, it really does feel like they would at some point just be done with the whole nonsense called thing that's going on. So I guess making love might be the next thing. So I wouldn't be surprised in the next chapter or two we have a naked Danji, naked Asa happening. But yeah, anyways, that's the end of this chapter. It's just gonna explain to us a bit more about the world that the agent never created, but that's about it. Nothing else. And now with Chainsaw Man out of the way, it's time that we talk about Rui Dragon chapter 23, titled I'm a Dragon. Feels kind of like a sort of end of series type of thing, like the series got cancelled chapter, but I think the next chapter is still supposed to come out on November 6th, so I don't think there's anything that's actually what this is supposed to be implying, but whatever. Maybe it's down volume 3, so we kind of like a end of what the first season of Rude Dragon kind of thing, but whatever. So, anyways, we started this chapter off with confirming that Rui's horns are back, as they're even bigger than before. As they're like what? As then when she greets her mother, they're both kind of chill about it. As Rui's mom tells her, "Wow, wow, the generation of dragons is next level. They are already back and better than ever." The as then they look at the outside weather, as they see that there's a bit of the bad weather. They see the storms and the clouds and all that, which they actually confirm it's due to Ree's powers because there's a process that can be used to make the storm come faster, or more likely the weather is kind of reflecting on the stored up energy from the dragon. So yeah, so anyways, Rui then goes off to her school as a little bit of electricity is kind of starting to emerge from her body. That is being saved up for the changing of the weather thing, which some students do point out. As then we have the students all being there, as like I guess just waiting. It's the off day, it's the weekend, so they don't really have to be there, but they're just kind of like hanging in the desk to see how this whole thing unfolds, and probably just to so they can hurry and get everything outside or something like that, so they won't have to spend the next couple of days quickly rushing everything outside. They need to try to participate, but whatever. Anyways, then we go into a little bit of a flashback about how exactly the plan was being formed as professor tells Takamoto says to them that alright, Rui should be able to perform this, but there are a few things that we have to consider first. One thing is the horns are essential to Rui's ability, so she will have to grow the horns back up into grow the horns back before she attempts this. It shouldn't take long, but it will be taking place. And next, Rui was probably going to need a lot of food and nutrients to be able to keep build a lot of the electricity in her body to be able to use her weather control dragon trait. Uh, trait because electricity and all that is being it's kind of like a one sub part of this form, and so far they're gonna have to rely on the basic information. I mean, all of this is just pure speculation and theories we're talking about. We're not talking about any definitive proofs. Like we don't have an example of a hunt of a 20 years ago or something like that. But anyways, they explain all that details. As then Rui and her mother go to the doctor, and he says, "Yes, she should be fine from it," which the mom does actually call out. "My daughter is gonna be fine calling down lightning. Really? In the middle of a storm?" As the doctor's like, "Well, in theory, it should be. I mean, this is all speculation. I don't see there being anything wrong with it. I mean, I guess you could say it is a little early to try something like this, but again, it's gonna be baseless if you ask me today or in the next couple of days. So it's not like we can have much information to go on. But from what I've seen and on papers, everything should be fine with her doing it." Which the doctors ask. My question is, are you saying it's fine with you with that? Would you really want to do that? As the doctor's like, was like, yeah, I want to do that so we can have our sports that we all work very hard for it. As the doctor's like, really, you're doing this all for a sports day? I mean, have your youth and all, but I kind of feel like you shouldn't be doing stuff like that. Or at least like that's not really a good justifiable reason. I would understand if it was something like uh, something like one of your classmates or something important, like you needing to go into a different country to meet up with with your family. But sports that just kind of feels like a type thing. But whatever, it's fine. I guess you can do it. Be young. So yeah. Anyways, then we cut back to the present with Rui getting kind of scared of lightning, probably in the anticipation of using the lightning ability. You know how you're prepared and you are getting ready and doing everything before the day off, but in the day off, the minutes of are happening, you're just being very jumpy, and that's what Rui is now, very jumpy about the whole thing with one of the classmates being like, "What are you scared? Are you scared of light or something?" As everyone's like, "Probably as much as everyone else is." With the students now kind of trying to tell her, "No one's gonna blame you if you don't go through this," because the realization probably dawned on them, and they probably also kind of talking to themselves and thinking aloud and all that when they were like, "Oh no, she's just gonna call down lightning, huh?" The fact that it was only a couple of weeks ago where she first manifested horns and breathed fire, which ended with her needing to go to a hospital because her throat was burnt. And a couple of days ago, she spit venom out of her stomach and is still getting sick from the venom. In retrospect, maybe this isn't the smartest idea. So they are not good. So now they're not trying to blame her if she feels like chickening out, but Rui isn't really that focused on that. Instead, she's more focused on what exactly her classmates think of her because she's got called on lightning. I kind of want to know what you think of a classmate who's clearly not known by any stretch of the means. As in the classmates kind of have like a little like jokey, they kind of just call her random stuff. Like they call her a cryptid, a freak, a monster, yes, a monster, and a bunch of other stuff which does kind of be like, well, thank you for calling me a monster. So I kind of now regret asking you what you think of me. But anyways, then she asked, "What about? Are you guys scared of me?" But they said you're not scared of her. They're just, you're weird, but that's nothing to be scared of. Which does make Rui very happy and kind of has to have a very joyful expression, which combined that with the electricity does make you kind of wonder if this might have some kind of ability connected to a personality type of thing. Like maybe the more energy she has built up in her and the more it's about to be released, she might have more of a energetic personality to things that make to opinions or something. But regardless, or maybe she's just very happy the fact none of them are scared of her. They just, they'll call her a monster, but nothing else. So she's very happy, and then she leaves the class as they're kind of like, wow, that's a 180 reaction if I ever saw one. As then, uh, as then Rui leaves the place to go to the plan, which is then she has to goes to the rooftop of the school as the Principal Takata is there, as well as the school nurse is there to make sure that if something happens, there'll be a medical assistant immediately. Feels like there should probably be a whole medical team with it beforehand, but whatever. But anyways, Rui goes onto the rooftop and walks to the edge of it to the pole that they set up to absorb the electricity or to direct all of the electricity towards it. As Rui starts a monologue where she says, "Oh, I would prefer being a monster is one thing, but personally, it makes more sense for me to call me a monster than hating me or fearing me. So I'm very happy about kind of explain to her mindset and why she was so happy with the class was just calling her monster, but they're not hate her or fear her or anything like that. Because to her, it makes more sense for it. It's more logical. Like I'm gonna call out lightning people. We cannot pretend like this is we have to address this. We have to acknowledge the abnormality of this. It's the fear that's really the problem. That's kind of like what I really appreciate about this monologue from Rui because like one issue I do have with whenever it comes to stories where they address having like normal humans but then have being people with superpowers and all that, is it kind of feels like they don't address the fact that alright, you are supernatural. Most people cannot call down lightning. Most people cannot use their superpowers in this way. Most people do not have powers. You have to acknowledge them. We have to acknowledge these are the changes that will affect their life. We can't just throw our hands in the air, act, oh yeah, the guy who can lift entire a whole truck with one hand is the same person, is the same, exactly the same as the person who can, at most in a panicky scenario, lift one car uh, long enough for the person trapped under the car to escape. So yeah, uh, we have. So yeah, this is kind of what this dialogue makes me think, and I really do appreciate and really enjoy it, and it's a very nice dialogue from Marie. Again, kind of the reason why I was is wondering if this chapter was the last one because it just feels like an end of story kind of monologue. Maybe we're gonna have like a revision of it at the end of the actual manga, but we have to wait and see on that side. But anyways, Rui is now at the pole and place, so now she uses her lightning to send towards or to redirect or to destroy or disperse the lights, thunder, and storm, which which was successful. Like Rui is successfully able to remove the lightning, and surprisingly enough, Rui isn't actually hurt from it. Like I know, right? Rui's not actually in a whole medical position. I was kind of expecting to be like a thing at the end of the chat, like they do this like wonderful thing where the clouds are going dispersing. There's like a beautiful sunset. All of her friends are going up to say, "Yeah, you did, Rui." But then like as she's looking at me, like, "Yeah, I did it." But then a thundercloud or something like stroke up and then that or something like that would happen. But no, it's just the plan worked, and all of her classmates, all the female classmates, are there to hug her and congratulate her on the plan working. Makes me kind of think there's gonna be some other consequences, like maybe someone in the government not being informed about the fact that a hybrid is changing the weather, or maybe like someone from the dragons is gonna appear to ask what the heck is up with this dragon manipulation, who is the dragon that manipulated that, and that's how we're going to have a reintroduction to the dragons or introducing the dragons into the story in the front of the story or something. But anyways, that's what we have so far, and we have to wait. I think until November 6th until we get to see what the fallout from this changing the world is gonna be. And it does kind of make me wonder what the Rue is now going to be doing in the sports festival because it's like actively stated that she cannot participate due to the horns and due to the venom, lightning, fire. And I think there's like 6 more that she hasn't used yet, but whatever. So, anyways, this is the end of the. So this is, anyways, the end of the chapter, as well as the end of this week of manga reactions and reviews. And yeah, anyways, I hope you like this video. I hope you leave a like, subscribe to this channel for more videos in the future. Don't forget to leave your thoughts on these chapters and the chapters you've read this week in the comments below. And with that said, I cannot wait to see all of you mortals next time.